pray that you would be with us today as we speak to each other and to the world, Lord. I pray that we would be a light for you, that you would guide our mouths, guide our actions, Lord, and just bless us as we go out from here and bless the people who hear it, that they would receive it and receive your word, God. Thank you for all you do for us. In the name of Jesus Christ, I pray these things. Amen.
Amen. So how's your day going?
Crazy.
You nervous a little
I'm
bit? It's
nervous.
okay. This is
Yes.
my second podcast, so it is kind of hectic. So let's get into sort of your story. First question is, what is the lowest point in your life?
That was an easy answer. The lowest point in my addiction was losing custody of my son. I have a precious little boy. Well, he's not little anymore, but at that time he was only 4 years old. And I lost the ability to tuck him in at night and had a CPS case. And being separated from him is what brought me to my knees, really.
I could actually relate to that because I went through kind of the same thing. My son's mom took my son away from me, wouldn't let me see him for about 3 months because of alcohol.
Mm,
What was your addiction to?
it was alcohol, marijuana.
Man, how long were you on that? How long did you battle that?
Well, alcohol was the longest. I actually haven't used drugs since 1990. I thought I was only an addict, not an alcoholic. It was just common. And
Yeah, that's pretty much that was the saying. People who were quitters go to AA or something like that. We're
yeah,
not quitters.
right, right.
I mean, it's rough. I mean, I've dealt with that addiction since I was probably 15, so it's been on and off. But I never did drugs.
Mm,
Like shocked that my family did meth and everything else, and I just was never involved in that. You know what I really thought? I always said like tweakers are the worst. Drinking is not bad. I'm never going to be bad.
mhm.
Come to find out, at 26 to 30 years old, I'm sitting, not even taking showers, laying in my bed, just drinking 2 bottles of vodka a day, and being with every single woman that I could see. It's pretty wild, and on that. So okay, I mean, you obviously did. What did it cost you? In the end of the day, you did say it cost your child. Anything else that costed you in life, like
Sure, yeah.
jobs, careers?
A family. Yes. I think, I was married to a terrific person, my son's father, and it cost me that marriage. It cost me a home. I'm not really materialistic, but I think the family and my son was the biggest.
Yeah, that's like I said, that is
Yeah,
hard. That can
ripped my heart out.
It does. Did you ever feel like God had left you?
I did. And I really never felt close to God anyways. Growing up, I didn't grow up in a godly home at all. So it's not really that God left me in my addiction, but I felt it in my sobriety too. I had about 6 months ago, I had a point where I felt like God left me and it was very scary, but he didn't.
Kind of never really thought God was had my back up until a couple years ago. I thought about it like God was never there for me, but he was always there for me. It literally got me out of every situation. And I always say I had free will to do whatever I wanted. That's what I learned later on. And I'd always choose that wrong decision in life, but he was always there. He just didn't want to go away because God is real and God is true to us. So what did you make you finally say enough's enough to this? What was it like?
Enough's enough. I was trying for years to get help in and out of programs. I think not being able to see my son was the pain, of course, that I mentioned that made me say, that's it. I got to do something different. And they say that with alcoholics. They've got to lose something before they're willing to do anything about it. Pain is our greatest motivator. And when I heard at the program that I had to be honest, that's what turned the corner for me. I heard very loudly in the how it works. If you have the capacity to be honest, that you could get better. And I've been dishonest all my life,
Uh,
running and gunning.
I think being honest as an alcoholic is probably the hardest thing. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that is even a word with alcoholics. Like, I swear I'm trying to be honest, but like they say, like, I think there's that old thing is that 90% of what we say when we're drunk is the truth. I don't really think that is because I've said some crazy stuff. And I'm like, dude, I really think that I wanted to go to that. But man, like
No.
it is. How did Jesus show up in your mess?
I think he showed up by protecting me many times. Just he protected me constantly. And that when I really, really hit my knees, when I had had enough and I asked for help, I heard that Jesus' still small voice. He showed up for me and led me to a program that has changed my life and a relationship with him that has changed my life, saved my relationship with my son, genuine friends today. He continues to show up for me constantly.
Yeah, were you church did you go to church when you were younger? Did you
No, I didn't go to church when I was younger, which is amazing things, and I was invited by a neighbor. You never know who you can invite someone to church to change their life. That's what happened to me because my parents weren't religious. I was invited to church. I was saved when I was 12 by Greg Laurie at Harvest
Oh,
Christian Church.
oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on
it's
his stage when it was small back then.
like my podcast is small right now, and
Right,
hopefully it grows, and,
right.
hopefully
Yeah.
people hear it and see it and understand what the concept of this is. I mean, going through all that, like, how many years did you go through the addiction? Like, how long was it?
Let's see. Well, I started, using by my own choice when I was 13 and or 10, 13. I remember even being 10 years old, sneaking out and going to the riverbed. In Norco, there was a riverbed that we used to go to, ditch school. I always ditched school and went and partied and drank and used drugs. And but I learned later in my sobriety that from my mom that, and she's not proud of this. I love my mom. My mom's doing great today. Okay. She had a rough life too, but she used to give me whiskey, to give me naps when I was a baby and things. So I was like drinking as an infant and I was allowed to drink at the dinner table because she didn't know any different either. She was raised by alcoholics
I
too.
had I was 5, I think that was the first time I ever drank. My dad had 40, I think it was Mickey's, I believe, and he's like, "Here, just take a drink, just take a drink." I mean,
Mm,
trust me, I spit it out, but I think the first time I really got drunk, I was like 12, and I actually statute of limitations ran through on this one,
mm.
but remember Miller's Outpost?
Yes.
Me and my buddy would walk up there, I think we went up there 12 times and ripped that place off at 12, but, like, drinking for me was I realized I was an alcoholic, I think, around 3 or 24 where I was like, "Yeah, this is about a problem," but I had 3 DUIs the time I was 26,
Mm.
and it was wild. So, that's the question there, did anything happen, like, criminally when you were going through your addiction?
No, thank God, nothing criminally. Close. I had restraining orders. I was very violent. But
So, no jail.
no, interesting thing.
That's
No jail
wild.
till I was sober. Yeah.
Well, that happens to the best of
Yeah,
us. I mean,
there's more to being sober than not drinking. It's your thinking.
yeah, it is. I mean, I've done stupid things sober too, and I think
Mhm.
most of my things in life have always been drunk, things I've said to I mean, I have destroyed most of my marriages, the relationship between my son's mom and I because of alcohol, I would say,
Mhm.
and it sucks. It sucks to go through that, fight through it, and realize you lose some good people in your life because you just can't get over the addiction of it all. And
Right.
so, obviously you turned to AA, and how long were you in AA before you started sponsoring women?
See, really actively, honestly, I believe I was like 15 years sober before I actively started. I tried here and there along the way when I had like 7, 8, 9 years. I would take one here, one there, one here, one there. But I wasn't really confident in my ability. And what changed it for me was COVID. When COVID happened, I don't know why, but when COVID happened, and I was about 15 years sober back then, and I realized that these women are dying and it has nothing to do with me. I need to stop worrying about whether I'm going to do it right or what I'm going to do wrong. These women need me to care. They're literally dying, drowning in alcoholism. Do you think they really give a crap whether you give them the wrong page number or something?
Yeah.
No, they just want you to care and show them what worked for you. That's all you got to do.
It's funny, and I love having you on here because it's always usually a man that's enlightened that the drunkenness, or you don't hear a lot of women that want to come out and say, "Yeah, that's a problem with us too." And there is. I mean, used to go to AA too, and it's one of probably the sadder things is seeing a man go through it. Oh, it's it's weird to me. I think men can get out of it easier. I think when a woman is stuck in it, it is really tough, and I've seen it destroy a women's lives. It's scary, but a lot of people there's women out in my life that go, "That can never happen to me." Come on, if it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody, and it's a scary thing. Now, on that note, obviously, we know AA believes in the higher power thing, the doorknob, which I have been an AA baby since I was, like, 10 years old, and this last time I went into AA, I was good, like, fine, listening to the stories, the same crap over and over again, and I'm not a huge person on testimonies because we've all heard them. We all have a testimony, and like I said, that's why I brought you on the show because you obviously helped women turn to Jesus Christ. Do you ever have conflict when you do that? Or is it the higher power thing? They're like, "No, my higher power can be a doorknob."
I honestly don't have conflict with that. I heard a joke about the doorknob that don't ever have your higher power as a doorknob because it's gonna turn on you.
Yeah,
Thought that was pretty
that's a
funny.
good one. That is a really good one.
I thought that was pretty funny. Now, I have not ever had conflict with that because before I start sponsoring women, there is a series of questions that we need to ask them, make sure they're ready. And one of them is if they're willing to believe or lean on a power that's greater than them that's going to help them. I don't say it's Jesus, but in my head, it is. And I kind of know they don't know right now. They just don't know right now. So kind of to forgive them for they know not what they do,
And I think that's the hard part for
meet
me,
them
and
where
that's
they're
where
at.
I battle that one because you should know. I mean, especially God is brought into everybody's life at a very young age. And for anybody, that's why I can't stand it. Like, how can you really believe in a higher power other than God? And when people do that, I look at it like you're just putting a band-aid on it. It's just
Hmm.
like you said, the doorknob can turn. There's only one higher power in this world, and that is Jesus Christ, as our Lord and Savior. My son's probably over there being a ruckus.
No worries.
You know,
I believe that too, but I know, well, I believe that we got to meet people where they're at. Just like there's things your son doesn't know yet, but you can't just dump things on him the way it is now. There's things he doesn't know, and you give him the grace to not know that right now.
yeah, but I think if you allow, so if I allowed somebody in my life and said, "Oh, higher power can be a cow," they're gonna lean on that. If I said, "No, higher power is Jesus Christ
Mm.
or God," they're gonna lean on that. So why not push that narrative other than, "Oh, a higher power." You know, whatever it works for AA. I don't knock AA in that sense. I'm not trying to knock it.
No
I'm
worries.
like, to me, it's I just I look at it and I think it is a joke in a sense because you're just masking it. You're band-aiding the scenario. It may work for I was sober for 5 years. I didn't really
I
turn.
definitely want to speak to that. Yeah,
Yeah, go
not
ahead.
to interrupt you,
Go ahead, go ahead.
but because you think it's masking, I can see how you could see that, but I want to just speak to the reason for it is so that it's all inclusive of all religions so that we can help not we. I'm not AA. I'm just a member. But so that all people fit. So if you believe in Buddha, I mean you could still get your help for alcoholism. It's so that cuz people are dying and they just need to believe in something other than them.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even say that you can push religion there. No matter what, there's a God, and that can only be even Buddhism have a God. You know, Catholics are same God. I mean, Mormons God. But to say, "Hey, whatever works for you
Mm,
to believe in a cow or doorknob or anything," to me, that's I wouldn't if I was a sponsor of an AA,
mm.
I wouldn't do that. I'd be like, "No, I'm sorry." Like, I wouldn't even sponsor you because I know you need help, but you might need more help if you think a doorknob is a higher power. And that's my input on it. But when you have people like that, have you dealt with that where they're like, "I want my higher power to be a doorknob?"
Well, yes, I do. I do have one girl, her god is a female, like, and I don't agree with that, but I don't know, but her god, but she follows the book. And that's the important part, that the word God is mentioned several times throughout the book. So, it's not just any higher power. It's not. It's
God,
it's it's of your own understanding.
but when you're in AA and you look at the 12 steps, I forget what step it is, but it says God like right away. And I was in a last time I was in AA, and I literally was just like, I heard this lady, which was an amazing lady actually, and she's just bragging about her cow being a, and I'm something's happening in my life where I'm transitioning and God's speaking to me, and I'm like, all I can hear is cow, and I can see God, and I wanted to stand up and just like, dude, I know you probably got like knocked around a few times drunk, but it says God. It does not say anything other than God. It says higher power, but God, 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 God. So at the
Mhm.
end of the day, to me, it is for us, for me. Like if I deal with people in recovery or something like that, it's God. But I'm not a sponsor. No way I could be a sponsor because I'd be like, no, I don't believe in that. AA did not do me justice. It did not work for me. God worked for me. But
Mhm.
it works. But again, back on that, when you're going through that with women, do you tell them like, hey, it's Jesus or it's God, or do you just not? You just don't push it on them?
No, or not to push anything on them, just show them the 12 steps and lead them to their own God of their own understanding. And most of my women are Christians. We attract, birds of a feather flock together. I attract Christians. I do.
Well, I mean, yeah, because I think the other ones are not gonna attract to somebody that believes
Right.
in God. They're gonna be
Right.
like, "I don't wanna be there." Like, I have, people that I talk to on a daily basis, and their big thing with God is it's mostly a church thing, and I'm like, "Well, you can still believe in God and not coming to church." I get it. There's super Christians that keep people out of church, or even somebody today, my dad was, I was really kinda mad at me. He's like, "Churches, all they want is money." If that has nothing to do with a higher power, that in believing in God. You don't have to come to church, you just gotta be around like-minded people.
Right.
So and I think that's probably why they flock to you is like-minded people and
Mm.
stuff like that. So, like, what kind of women do come to you? And what type of
I
people?
know when I first read that question, I thought beautiful women that are lost come to me, that are in pain, that were like me, that are hopeless or are on the verge of losing their hope. Those are the kind of women I get that don't know what else to do, and they're willing to do the work.
Is it struggle sometimes for you seeing them go through the same pain you used to go through?
Yes.
And, like, what is the best thing advice you've given somebody?
Advice?
Yeah.
Not sure.
Or what's the harshest advice you'd give them?
The harshest advice? I don't think I've given harsh advice. I've made mistakes and yelled at some, but I think the best advice that I give, and I don't really give advice in AA because we're not supposed to do that. Like, just share what worked for us. It's what we're supposed to do. So when they come to me with a problem, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, I show them how to apply the book to their life. So if Margie comes to me, I'm grateful my best friend Margie's here today. So she comes to me that my sister's doing this or I'm afraid. I'm like, okay, well, that sounds like fear to me, And there's a part in our book about fear and how we go to God and we ask God to remove our fear and direct our attention. But I don't tell her that. I say, what does it say again? I lead her to her own answers. My job is to show her how to get them her own, how to go to Christ by herself, so that when I'm not there, and that's what a lot of people in AA don't do. So you're
Yeah.
hearing stuff just based on the meetings, but somebody that's worked the book like I have, thank you. I'm glad I had a terrific sponsor that took me through the book word for word, that I know how to apply it to my life when it
Yeah.
hits the fan. I know how to connect with Christ because she taught me.
And that it was a hard thing though, is to when you're going through it, is to step away from it and try to get back into it. Now, like, have you realized, like, I think, and I'm just speaking out of mine as a guy, a lot of women that turn to alcohol, do you think it has a lot to do with like abuse they go through, having to be in a relationship that's just constantly crap and they feel like they have to turn to mask it or to hide it? Those scenarios that you've dealt with, I'm sure your responsees, how do you help them through that?
Yes, I do believe that a lot of women drink because of abuse or abandonment are very common. Lost parents, or however, some haven't. Some just haven't learned the coping skills growing up. You
I mean, and I think that it goes both ways because it's the same. I strongly believe it was took me a long time to realize why I drank, and it was always for me. It went back to something bad happened to me around 12 years old, and I literally hated women for so long. I used women, and I never can get it right with a woman. And
Mm.
I probably was that guy that I don't think that turned any woman into alcohol, but I sure got them to hate me. I mean,
Mhm.
definitely did, and I feel bad for that, but when you go through that with a woman, I mean, is it hard on you though too? Does it feel like you have a weight on your shoulder? Break you just a little bit, or are you strong enough to get through it?
I feel like I'm strong enough to get through it. I'm grateful that they're going through it. I don't like to see them hurt, but I know that it's a necessary part of the journey, and I'm grateful when they do it.
Do your ladies go to church with you and stuff, or do they?
One does, Margie does.
You obviously in AA you build some really good friendships, and then you
Yes.
have some stuff that goes on in there. I mean, AA does like have that where they got everybody sleeping with each other in AA, and it's sad. I mean, and it's so funny because I'm gonna have to say this. That's the same thing that happens in churches. I don't know that, but
Yeah.
there you got the hidden Christians where like they're super Christian, but at
Mhm.
home they're pretty bad,
Yes,
And I think that's in anything,
probably.
and it's but it
I hear
sucks.
that, but I don't see it either.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I
And
mean, for
I'm grateful I don't see it.
that's why I don't go to this big, massive church down the street because I would be like, "What the hell?" Like, I wanna know who I'm talking to, especially I love the church I'm in, and
Mhm.
to me, it's really important to turn people to God. I mean, for you in your life, is God that important to you? Is it number 1 in your life?
Oh, yeah.
Has he really helped you
Yeah, me and God are like this.
like that?
Oh, yeah, he's
So
my
so what things do you do with your sponsees other than go through the book? Is there activities you hang out with or s
Yeah, we play board games often at the club, and we go to the movies on Tuesdays, we have movie day, but really other than that, we don't do a lot outside because it's not my job to be their friend, it's not my job to be the therapist or their financial advisor or anything. It's my job just to lead them through the God of their own understanding inside,
I
which for
mean,
me is Jesus Christ.
but how many times you just had to walk away from 'em, like a sponsee?
A lot,
Yeah.
way more than the ones that have stayed.
So it doesn't like, if you have a sponsee that doesn't believe in a God, that doesn't affect you at all? Like, that doesn't get you where like, "Hey, I don't know if I wanna be."
I don't sponsor them, they don't believe.
Oh, okay, okay, so they don't sponsor, I thought you said. I was like, "Wait a
No.
second." I mean, that would be for me.
No, there's 3 questions that I ask them, and one is if they have any lurking notion that they can use or drink again. They think they can they're just gonna get sober for a little while and go back. So if it's yes, then I'm like, "No," and then I don't work with them, and if they're willing to believe there's something greater than them right now, 'cause often they don't in the
Yeah, yeah,
beginning.
yeah.
Their life's a mess, and they're like, "But just you're willing to believe there's something."
Has
Okay.
any one of your sponsees ever tried to get you to drink?
Not drink, but one pulled out a pipe one time, and I felt like she was trying testing me. Like, "Oh, I found this in my purse," it was like and it felt like it was odd. She was odd because it was like she was asking for my help, but yet she was trying to get me to fail same time.
You have a couple books, don't you?
Yeah, 2 books
Yeah.
out.
I didn't
Women
really get too involved in it, but I looked at it. What are they about?
yeah, Women Who Illuminate is my story of sobriety. It's called The Magic of Sobriety. It's my story, and then Women Who Impact is the story of how I lost my son to parent I call it parent alienation syndrome. There's a syndrome called parent alienation that happens often when people get divorced, where one parent uses the child against the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and uses the child as a weapon and withholds the child, tells them evil things about the other parent. It's called parent alienation, and there's an actual thing. And so I studied how to reverse it.
I've seen that firsthand. I have to say with my son's mom and I, not at all. I mean, the only reason she ever took my son away was because I deserved it. When you're drunk, I don't think she was trying to do any of that. Hey, I'm gonna rip your child away from you. She was like, look, dude, you want to be in this child's life, you need to be a good man.
Mm.
But I've seen other people do that crap, and I think it's so childish. That's the one thing I have to say. I'm so blessed with my
Good,
son's mom.
good.
Sometimes we're friends, sometimes we're not. She probably hates them doing this podcast, or, she probably, because they're probably super Christian. Not trying to knock her, but there's that
Mhm.
super Christian mentality.
Mm.
But I'm here doing this because God saved my life. And as parents, we get along so well. Like our child goes to school here and she comes on the Wednesday services and I come on Sunday services, even though, I made a childish fit about it. Like, why are we going to the same church? But another childish reaction of alcoholism. I think that is still in your brain that makes you think stupid thoughts. But yeah, so I get that. And that is that book doing good? I mean, because I mean, honestly, that should be a hot seller right
It
there.
is. It's on Amazon. Let's see, about 5 years now.
What inspired you to do it?
I always had a dream to put my story in a book, to write a book that
So
would hopefully help other women.
they say I should write a book about my life, and
Yes,
I no, you know what I would call it? How to fuck a life up.
a good
Little,
title.
I'm sorry, that's just what it would be. Like
Yeah.
I've literally had so many positive things in my life happen and I would crush everything. Like I would get to the top in my life and just burn it out.
Mhm.
Like literally a couple years back, I made my business, literally had like 60 plumbers working for me, made about 12 million that year. And then a year later I was broke, like
Mm.
from alcohol, from not like it was wild, but I did that my whole life. It wasn't from football to trying to be an actor to everything. I would get to the top and just, yeah, fuck it. I don't want to do it no more. I don't enjoy my life that much. And, so, like, it sucks, but I
Gosh.
gotta read the book. I wanna read your book.
Yeah,
I'm
you
never
sh
gonna write a book about myself.
Never?
No.
Everybody has a book inside
No,
of
because I
them.
don't know if I want a prison term.
Oh.
I think I did my time enough. No, I'm just kidding.
You don't wanna
I
incriminate
don't
yourself.
want to incriminate myself in any form or
Yeah.
fashion. At the end of the day, just like the podcast, you kind of fingers crossed this is going to work. Like I said, I have my judgmental people out there, right? That's why I ranted a little bit because
Mm.
people have their opinions. And, I honestly have to say, opinions actually, bad ones help me. Keep doing bad ones up because that's going to make people want to watch me because
That's right.
they're like, keep going with me because
That's
I'm not giving up. Like literally yesterday when I heard some bad opinions, I was like, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I shouldn't come to church no more.
mm.
For one split second, I thought that. I was like, "Oh, no, 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 I'm gonna get you." I just hope those people can, when they see me at church tomorrow, can come talk to me like
You're
a
gonna help
human.
a lot of people with this podcast.
I hope so. I mean, obviously it's fluid and it's gonna change, and I've already had pastors cower out on me, like they were like, "Oh, I can't do that," and then I've had a couple that said yes, they're gonna do it, but again, they have to understand why I'm doing this,
Mhm.
and it's not for the average person that's been for Christ for a long time. It's for the guys or women that have questions. Any of us that have serious questions. When you saw the first podcast, which I was nervous as all hell, and I caught myself being a little nervous just now. But it happens.
It
But
happens.
I think
Normal.
that it will blow up, and I think when I have people like you and your story is should resonate to people. And where are you at in your life now? Like, what is going on in your life? Is it
Yeah.
good? Is it
It's
amazing?
really good. It is amazing. Today I have a great relationship with my son. He's 24 and I get to sponsor 8 women right now. I sponsor women all the time.
Any pretty ones?
I'm basically living, of course, they're all pretty.
No, like hot, like 40s.
No, they're young. They're younger.
I mean, sorry, this is
Oh,
why
wow.
it's called tattooed sinner.
That's right.
I'm still a sinner at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
Yeah, I want to say that's one thing I love. I love about your podcast because I believe in being different and being authentic and being yourself. And super Christians, I think we ought to try to fit in. And if you fit in, you're not going to change the
It
world.
makes them cringe, I bet. I mean, they're probably like, sorry, this person that's probably affects a lot, and I have to tend to think about her is that my son's mom, where I'm like, I hope I don't want to I make her look so bad, but at the end of the day, this is the dude she had a child with. I'm the same man, so I'm a weirdo at the end of the day, but I'm also upfront, forward, and honest, and I'm a leader. Like that's why I'm doing this because I'm a leader. I have 2 companies and I believe my men stop and listen to me. The ladies in the office stop and listen to me. And I believe if people understand the concept of this podcast, they'll turn in and they'll listen to it as I get better with it all because I'm not an actor. So that may take me 6 months before I get better at this.
Mhm.
I mean, I did pretty good not reading off a script as much as I did. You were there the first
Yeah,
time.
you did good.
I didn't actually. I actually changed up all
I
the
don't like
questions.
reading off a script. Yeah,
I had to do the
scripts are
first
hard.
one. The first one was pretty hard because I had a testimony I had to give about myself, and I was
Yeah.
like, I didn't want to affect that one person in my life, and I choke up every time I talk about it.
hmm
And I wanted to say, like, dude, it's not because I want to be with you or anything like that. It's just I respect for you. Thank you for everything you've done for me. And
Yeah, that was
and then I had my friend, my pastor, on the podcast, which you know people have now a different opinion probably about him, or they're jealous we're friends, and that's sad.
sweet.
It is sad that people have to be that way. My pastor has a life of his own too, and he
Mhm.
gets up here and he all he wants to do is lead people to God. And as you want to lead people into sobriety, and sobriety is the first step of it all.
It is.
I think it is the hardest step.
Plug in the
Do
jug.
you think it's a disease?
Yes, a state of dis-ease. Yes.
Do you really think it's an actual disease, or there's that such a
I really
debate?
do. I really do.
I think it becomes a disease.
I'm glad they classified it as one so that people can get more help, and it's necessary. I don't like putting people in boxes like alcoholic, bipolar, but it's human to me.
I have my opinion on it, which I do think it is becomes a disease. I think once you get addicted to it, you can't get over it, and then it's like. And I will tell you, I'm almost 2 years sober again, and I still think about it all the time. All the time. I'm like, man, wouldn't it be nice to crack open a beer? And I've been single for so long, so I'm like, when I was drinking, I was never single. So I'm like, man, maybe I should just hit a bottle of vodka again. I won't be single again. I'm kidding. But at the end of the day, it's kind of one of those things where I think it becomes a disease in time
It
because my
does.
brain wants it. My
It
brain is
does.
like, hey, I need you. Uh,
Starts in our mind,
yeah,
and it
and
manifests our body.
again, for me now, I believe that the devil attacks you, and I believe that's the devil now attacking me
Yeah.
because he's like, "Hey, let's mess this all up for you. It's time for you to screw up right now." Because I have people out there, 2 important people in my life that are doing this. He's gonna screw up soon. Just wait and see. Just wait. And then with Pastor Brian, they're probably sitting there going, "Well, I'm gonna make Pastor Brian look like a fool because wait and see, wait and see." And I'm not that man. So back to the disease part, yes, and it's a disease. I don't know if anybody can ever truly beat it. We just have to have either AA or God. Or I think God only. Not to knock it. When going through all that stuff, have you thought about drinking lately? What's the last time you
Not
actually?
lately, for
No.
sure. No, but of
You're
course,
thinking about drinking right now that I'm talking, you're probably like, "Shut up, dude." Just like, "I'm gonna go get a bottle right now."
I would recoil from it like a hot flame. Yeah, I'd be like, "Nope." If you put it in front of my I'd probably smack it out of your
Good for you, good for you.
I would probably punch you.
So, what's daily Tina life?
Routine of life.
Yeah.
It's very routine, very structured. I get up and I read, meditate, pray. I get up at 2:45 every morning and do my reading meditation, and I do a series of prayers or are taught to me from the book.
What church you go to?
I go to our city church in Corona. Love my church.
Was that the pastor that you gave me his number? No.
What's that?
Was that the number you gave me, the pastor?
No,
No,
that was
no?
a different one.
Okay, are you gonna reach out to your
I
pastor?
can, sure.
You should, we
Yeah.
gotta get him on. I think this will
Oh,
be
yeah, he'll be amazing.
eventually, like,
He's
I
an
open the
amazing
audience,
speaker.
like, they just have to deal with the quirkiness and then the hard questions. I don't think they're that hard. I mean, I left some out on Pastor Brian I didn't wanna ask because I was like, "Okay, this is his home church, so let's just not let him have to answer those."
Yeah.
But he's like, "You should ask me. You should have." I was like, "No, no, 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 I think I'm gonna ask anything." So, other than that, do you work? Do you?
I'm
Yeah,
retired 3 years from corrections,
okay.
22 years as a correctional officer. I've been retired 3 years, living my dream life. My dream was just to serve God, from the moment I wake up. So I do.
So, last thing, what would you tell the women out there that need help right now? And if you look into the camera right now, what would you say to do?
I would say for them to be really honest with themselves and look within and really get the help that you need. Don't be afraid to reach out. I don't know where to look.
A red
There.
dot.
Okay. I would say really be honest with yourself and don't be afraid to reach out for help because it's the best thing that I ever did. I would encourage you to do that too. And that this disease will kill you. It's a matter of life and death. And I take it very seriously. So you can reach out to me, or someone that you feel led to, but definitely reach out. Don't isolate. Don't keep it to yourself. Don't, because you're a child of God. God loves you. And so do I. And you don't need to sink in this state of hurt and confusion. There's a great God that loves us. And so
Well, Tina, thank you very much for coming
thank
on.
you
I
for having
appreciate it. So
me.
I'm going to close out a little bit. I'll look at the camera now. Addiction is a rough disease. It is one of the hardest battles in life. And I strongly believe without God, I would have never been sober. No matter what your higher power is, if it works for you, it will work. If you heard me knocking AA, I'm not knocking AA. It does help and it will help you. But I'm a strong believer in only one God. And I only believe that Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior. He died on the cross for our past, present, and sins. So if you feel like you can never get here, you can. It is tough. The world, it does not go easy, but it's one step at a time, one moment at a time, and life does change. But if you think it gets better like that, it doesn't. Life is difficult. I'm 2 years into my sobriety again, and it's just got harder and harder. But if you need help and you need people, reach out. People like me, like Tina, and there's plenty of people out there. Nowadays with Google, just look up AA, look up therapist. And I want to tell you guys, we're here for you guys if you need us. And I'm going to pray this out. And I thank you guys for watching. And I hope this podcast was a little better than the last one. And we'll get better. I'll get better. And I hope to see you on the next one. Ready, Tina?
All right.
Dear Lord, thank you for blessing us with this opportunity to sit here with Tina and to go over her addiction and how she changed her life.